right, what's up guys? We are at the Frostbite Open in Opelika, Alabama. I'm here with Idris Garcia. Would like to take a quick shout out to the sponsors of the video, which are Opelika and Auburn Tourism, Opelika Parks and Rec, Hat Tip Disc Golf, Flight Towel, and of course Prodigy Disc. We're here round one with Colin Forehand, myself, Alec, Falzone, and Neal.
Looks like a fun card for you guys.
We're here with Colin, hole one. Plays about 270 feet or so. Colin's going, I think, with a M3 of some type. There's a pretty good amount of wind. Usually at this course, you're going to find that there's a lot of wind that comes into play.
Yeah, it looks like you can kind of hear it. His disc kind of died there right after he threw it. So you're going with the sidearm.
Yeah, this is a 400 D1, pretty overstable. There was a pretty significant amount of wind that came through. It was pretty cold and dry throughout the day.
Nice.
Alec here, he is sponsored by Discraft, from my understanding. I'm not sure exactly of the lot of the disc that people throw, so I do apologize for not knowing everybody's bag. This is Neal. You'll find that he throws very far.
Yeah, that's for sure. I've gotten to play with Jared a couple times over the last year, and he's just a fun guy to be around. Him and I think, try and outsmile each other.
That's a good competition. It'd be tough to compete in that with you guys. Here's Colin. He's a little bit shorter, just on the edge of the circle right there. Colin putts with the 300 PA2. Maybe a little bit of nerves right there at the very first hole. Even though it's 270 right in front of you, it's a little bit harder to get a really clean look.
Yeah, when it's cold too, it's tough to get your hands warmed up, and that really affects you on the putting green more than anything else.
Yeah, I would say cold and dry is something that I'm not really a huge fan of when it comes to putting. Just looking for, had a short birdie look there, just want a nice clean stroke. Same with Colin, just even though these are short comeback putts on hole number one, you just want to have a nice, easy, confident putting stroke so you can kind of move into the rest of the round with some confidence.
Yeah, and you and Jared, looks like you guys got off to the start you want with the birdies. Alec and Colin avoided any more trouble with their comeback putts and got the pars.
Hole two, you can see it right there. It's about 250, maybe 260 feet at the most. I'm going with a Proto PA4. Just a little bit of wind, as you can see the disc jumping up and down right there.
Nice late turn on that one.
You don't really see too many pros go into the water on this hole. It's just kind of a slow left to right turn, as we're going to watch Jared. There's the other route here that you kind of throw low in front of the trees and kind of get over those rocks.
Hope that disc with some premium plastic caught those rocks pretty hard.
Yeah, that's kind of like the catch-all on this hole. Once you're in those rocks, you have about a 25-foot putt at the most, as you're going to see Colin here in just 1 minute. Throw a PA3 with a stamp from my wedding.
Oh, very nice.
I had to tell him you're welcome after every time he threw the shot.
And Alec going with the sidearm.
Yeah, that's also a pretty good play.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he went mid-range on that, so it just kind of had a slow fade. Jared, as you can see, he hit the rock, but he's really not too far away, so that's kind of not a bad play there. Same thing with Colin.
Yeah, really nice putt from Jared there early in the round. Let's see if Colin can follow him up. Yep, nice clean stroke, straight in.
Yep, and Alec over there on the right-hand side coming in with a forehand. You don't really get too much wind read out here because there's not many trees and there's no flags on the basket. Same thing on this, and just looking for a nice clean putting stroke.
Nice. Good start for you and Jared there, 2 for 2.
Hole 3 is actually the longest hole on the course. It's a par 4, plays all the way back left. The left side of the path here is out of bounds, and there's a Mando about halfway up on the right-hand side. I'm going with my signature D2 here. There's a huge headwind as the nose of the disc gets over right there. That's a pretty common play from a lot of places. And you're about to find out why I said Jared throws far.
Yeah, these are definitely the holes that Jared excels on. I mean, the wind's kind of killing it there. You can see the angle that he took was nice, and it's still way up the fairway, even though the wind was constantly fighting it down.
Yeah, if you can get past that tree that Jared just slid right in front, it's a fairly easy up and down. Same thing with Colin. Colin has just a great drive here. He's really setting himself up for the next upshot.
Yeah, it looks like he read the wind really well off of you guys' shots. He left it high and didn't get the nose over too much to where the wind could get over the top of it.
This one from Alec is looking great as well. He gets a full flight of it. He's just far enough away from the tree. I don't think it's going to bother him too much. I'm going with the same disc here. Pretty much just playing it safe. The basket's much more left than what I ended up. I just wanted to be safe and not really play around with the walking path on the left-hand side.
Yeah, it looks like you left yourself a really short upshot, a long jump putt.
Alec seems like two for him. I think he's going with the Kong. I think that's one of his distance drivers of choice, and he gets a really good skip off the cart path and right near the basket.
He did choose to mess with the path, and it looks like it paid off for him.
Jared with looks like the second best drive. Colin with the best drive. Just has a fairly standard right to left spike hyzer shot, and he takes advantage of having the good drive.
Really nice shot there from Jared. Looks like he's going to start with the turkey here, as Colin follows him up with another hyzer shot, and he tombstones right in there. So
I'm about 70 feet away from here. There's a little bit of wind. Just want to put this one next to the pole. Jared looking with an inside the circle putt. Get that
Great
birdie.
putt.
Yeah,
Awesome
that's a
job.
great putt there from Jared as he birdies the first three.
And Colin, I guess a little right. I mean, it was definitely low enough, but with it being a little bit right, those chains pushed it out, and the basket didn't really help much.
Alec with a nice up and down. Get that birdie.
Taking the par. No one getting in any trouble on the longest and windy hole here. So
Yeah, that's not a bad way to play that hole with the lot of out of bounds as we go on to one of the harder holes, another par 4. You can't really see it off the tee pad here, but there is a lake at about 400-ish feet as Jared cruises all the way down there. That is an amazing drive. You will not find many people who are throwing their drive all the way down there, as you can kind of see the basket across the lake. I think that we were dealing a little bit of a headwind left to right on this hole, so you'll see a couple of these drives, whenever they're coming in, they're kind of just getting smashed down or turned over.
it looks like Alec just left his a little high, so the wind was able to push it back a little bit.
I'm going with a 400 F1 on this shot here. I like the F1 for the left to right. I felt like it was going to go down the hill, but it actually dropped because of that left to right and actually put me in a decent spot.
There's Colin last up on our card. Good angle out of his hand, and you can just see that wind pushing it down.
Yeah, and even though it looked like he was pretty short, he got over the hill just a little bit, and this is kind of the safe play on this hole, is just kind of rip it towards the basket. You know, try to give yourself a 15, 20-foot comeback putt. Great shot there from Alec. Playing with the water just a little bit. I have a decent look. There is a good amount of wind coming in, and I'm throwing a 400 A3 for my upshot.
It's like your foot got caught there.
Yeah, and had a little bit of an uphill lie, a little bit of a right to left, and that just kind of floated over, and that's basically just a pitch up to the basket with it being so close to the water.
Here's Jared. I mean, just able to throw a standstill putter shot from where he was.
Yeah, that's an amazing drive from Jared. Makes the hole so much easier. With the water right there by the basket, you're not going to find many people who are going to be running anything outside of 25 feet.
So you take the smart play. Alec actually has a putt and is able to convert on it.
Jared with a nice tap-in birdie there as he continue his really hot streak. I need to really take my time there.
Good job. That is excellent concentration. Taking your time to read the wind. I mean, yeah, thank the crowd.
Thank you, guys.
That was just excellent work.
Really took my time on that. All right, headed into the next one, which is we get into the tighter, shorter holes coming up. This one is very tight. It's a dead straight tunnel. You can't really see it too much off the tee because of the shadows. But you basically want to throw, like Alec is, some people throw a forehand, some people throw slight hyzer flip mid-range, which I'll do, or I will attempt here. But a majority of the players, it's easy to hit early on this hole and have a hard upshot.
So the flip up mid-attempt looks like just a little early, like you were saying.
Yeah, that tree gets hit a lot. Just a little bit of an early release if you're trying to go hyzer flip. Or Colin's shot was looking really good here and then just is a little bit too late of a release. So.
And it just doesn't
Continues
look like
to
it's
roll.
going to be fun to get back towards the basket from where he's at.
Yeah, you can notice there's not many routes towards the basket. Very rare tomahawk.
Okay.
Usually I have to teach myself to throw a tomahawk whenever that comes up.
Well,
So
it drops you in there. You'll have a putt.
Yeah, not too bad. Colin actually went with the upside down Scooby shot on this. Very impressive. He
Another
got
one.
up there towards the
Another good
basket.
Well, if you can't get through the trees, I guess over them is another option.
Jared with just a long jump putt there. He does leave himself a little bit of a comebacker. Alec has a look at birdie from his forehand. And sneaks it in there on the side.
Corner pocket.
Little par putt here.
Nice.
Same thing.
That's
Following
a really nice up and down.
the corner pocket from Alec.
Oh, Jared off the top. And that'll be his first mistake of the round.
Yeah, Jared with a hot start. Just kind of had a little mess up. Good putt from Colin. But the jump putt layup. And then a little bit of an early or a too high of a putt on that one.
Yeah, you can see on the putt right before that, I mean, these type of baskets are kind of like a ramp on top. You hit the top and you skid so far away.
Yeah. Alex going with a forehand, and I think the wind got underneath this one, and it's really a short hole and
wow.
easy to go long. I'm throwing a 300 PA3 on this. There's a pretty good amount of headwind. But that doesn't change the fact that I totally shanked it.
Yeah, a little late release, the grip block. You look thrilled.
I was really happy about that shot. And Colin...
Was it supposed to look more like this?
Yeah, it's supposed to look like
bit.
Colin's shot right
Yeah.
there. As he said, what are you guys trying to do? Just throw it near the basket. It makes things much easier.
Here's Jared. Let's see how he comes back from the last hole. Missing a couple putts. Looks like a good line on it.
You can see right there, this hole is short. It has a pretty steep hill behind it, a little bit of wind, and it's easy to go long. I was somewhat fortunate in the fact that there was a tunnel shot towards the basket right there, but there's also a pretty steep cliff, as you're going to see Alec here try to lay it up, but he just hits a little too early.
Yeah, that's tough. Looks like Jared's actually running it.
Yeah, that's a tough basket. As you can see right there, the side hill. It's a really tough putt to run. As Colin's looking back up at it, this is the spot you want to be, and great putt.
Nice. And there we go. Jared converts on this comebacker, doesn't let it get away from him like last hole, and looks like he's getting back on track here. Another good up and down for you.
Yeah, and I think that we actually missed Alec. Whenever he laid it up a little bit too short, he actually decided just to lay it up
Oh, okay.
at the basket. I think there was a good amount of wind, and it's a easy basket placement to mess up on.
Yeah, it's good to, take your lumps early. There's plenty of golf left, so smart play from him to limit the damage.
And shout out to Flight Towel for sponsoring the video. All right, headed into, can't remember what hole number this was. I missed the number that came up. But this one is a slight right to left, kind of a blind hyzer shot. As Colin throws his 300A2, I'm going with a PA3. I'm going to be a little bit too early.
Looks a little short, probably an obstructed putt from there.
Just got a little bit caught up, and I think Jared as well is going with some type of overstable putter.
Looks like he let it go a little early himself, but got a nice kick. Wow.
That's some good love right there.
Love it.
Some tree love.
Alabama love.
Alec Falzone. Keeping it a little bit wider as the last two people were a little too tight. And that's always an unfortunate kick whenever you go through, or whenever you don't go through and you hit the first available and a bunch of just a bunch of trees.
Looks like a little half bit at it. He'll be close for his par. Got yourself a little window.
A little bit on the right-hand side, but not too bad. I mean, I had an outside the circle look and not a good drive. We got Alec here for par, picks it up, which is a good putt. Good confidence builder putt. That's the type of putt where you just want to rip your jacket off. You're ready to be warm over the cold.
Yep. And this is not the first CTP flag I've seen Jared have in his hand this round, so he's
needs to be given a little bit of
parking
love.
holes.
A little bit of love to the tree.
Yeah, for real.
This is one of the tougher holes out here. It's a big change from the previous year, hole number 8, 410 feet. It is a reachable 410 uphill, but you can see Colin there. I think he misjudged the wind just a little bit, and it slammed his disc down onto the side of the hill, which made a cut roll out of bounds.
I was going to say, it's probably a little risky to...
I think a lot of us were thinking, we were surprised that Jared hit early on this, but as we mentioned at the beginning of the round, it was cold and dry, so it was hard to get a really good grip on the disc. Jared hits the first tree, unfortunately, and goes out of bounds.
And I was surprised to see him throw the sidearm. That's not necessarily something that he does often, but obviously he's played here before and has a game plan for it.
I threw 400 D2 on that. Just wanted to get to the top of the hill. Just try to be safe. And Alec here, after watching Colin and Jared go out of bounds, he's just looking to keep it nice and low. He's almost pin high, have a fairly easy up and down.
Yeah, good shot from him, avoiding those early trees.
Jared with that same overstable putter type disc, and this was a really good looking shot.
It's so tough to throw uphill like that.
Alec, as I mentioned, he's got a fairly easy up and down, just sliding it up there, some type of straight putter, and Colin almost tosses this one in.
Looking for that
Good looking up shot. And this is also one of those putts you just want to lay up near the basket and take your 3 and walk on to the next one. Nice up and down from Jared. I don't think there were too many 2s on this hole throughout the day.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like an easy angle off the tee to be able to access the pin very easily just because of the way the hill slopes. Of course, wind plays a factor.
Hole 9, 278 feet. This is kind of an awkward angle of release. For me, I just found throwing a slight hyzer putter, try to get through those trees, those kind of randomly dispersed trees before the basket, is the best way. This is a pretty standard play as well. That's a great shot by Alec. It's a really tough angle overall. As you can see those trees right there. I mean, it's almost like a wall.
Ooh, Colin early a little bit.
Yeah, and this is a common play. I mean, it's tough to really hit a ton of hyzer with a really understable disc and commit to the release.
Yeah, it looks like Jared went a little bit early too. He got by the tree, so it should be an easy up and down.
Nice little kick there by Colin. His shot was going to be good anyways.
So Jared confirming that he's outside the circle here. See if he lays out for it. Yep.
He was really going for that one, and he might have made it if it wasn't for that tree, but it slowed it down enough to where he had a decent short comeback.
There's Alec putting from a knee.
Yeah, this is a good hole to pick up a birdie on. As Colin taps in his par putt there. I was definitely happy to pick up a little bonus birdie on this hole.
Yeah, and you and Alec with the only birdies. Looks like Alec out in the lead by 1 over you.
Hole 10, which is a 200-foot downhill. You really just want to throw with a tiny little turnover. I'm going with a 400 glow PA3, and
Nice
just
touch.
let the disc do the work fading down the hill. Alec let the group know that he bought this disc right before the round.
Just for tomahawks, or
Only for tomahawks. He said, I need to throw a couple tomahawks, and I have to have this disc. And there's Colin once again, just as I mentioned, letting the disc do the work, a little bit of Anheuser.
Those are fun shots to watch. I mean, it's a short hole, so it doesn't fly for very long, but those nice floaty putter shots that stay on the line for so long are a lot of fun to watch.
And yeah, as Jared mentioned, just a little bit more turnover, and he would have been all the way down there.
Nice lofty putt there, just a little high.
Yeah, it's tough to run at these greens with the pine needles. It does just slide really an extra 10 feet.
Looks like a lot of the greens here are sloped too, so your comebackers are generally a little bit longer.
Warming up my legs.
A little pre-putt squat there.
Never miss leg day.
No, man, look at that. You hit the orange tape, thinking all the fans. Just
All the fans out there.
yeah, waving to the crowd.
It's a good comebacker from Alec there. Colin with the best drive of the group.
Yeah, great shot for Colin there. Able just to tap it in, not think about it too much. Didn't even have to do his squats.
Taking CTP.
Oh, man.
And didn't even take a squat. That's
Looked like it was
impressive.
close, I know.
Hole 11, 240 feet uphill to the right. And as I just said, I do that every single time on this hole. It's a very tight turnover shot, as you're going to see a lot of people really try to pull their shot. Colin hits a little early and joins me on the left-hand side of the fairway. Alec goes with the forehand, tries to get it up high. That's not too far from the basket, as you'll see. It's over there to the left of camera view.
That's an interesting Mando over there. It doesn't look like many people would take the route of the Mando. It just looks like it would punish a shot that gets pulled over too early, like you were saying.
Yep, and I guess when the course was first installed, they had people go up the previous fairway.
Oh, okay.
Since this hole plays so hard to the right, you can almost get to it from the last tee pad. I'm going with a 400 A3, just stepping out, throwing a forehand. Went a little bit long, not too bad though. But this hole also, even though it's 240 feet, I would say it's just a touchy, up high forehand shot that you have to have glide. And to go at 240, it's kind of just a strange distance.
And Alec looking downhill on another sloped green. I mean, it's just so tough to have that over and over, and he goes a little bit high.
And you can hear the wind in the background, as it looked like it was in the whole way from Jared. Colin with a comebacker. It is pretty breezy at this point. You can't see the tree. You can see the trees move in the background, actually, if you look up above the basket. It's swirling a pretty good amount.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's a little bit uncomfortable on the green right now.
Yeah, a mixture of the cold and the dry with the wind. I mean, those obviously are not ideal conditions for putting, but it's something that everybody has to deal with.
Great par save, especially after watching everyone else miss. It's just good to keep your confidence and know that you're going to make it.
Jared just kind of leaks that out on the left-hand side.
Yeah, tough break.
Colin with a good comebacker, even though that was for 4. That's just a good comeback putt to make there. As that is the first 11 holes of this round. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys on the back nine.